What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the St. Thomas Dynasty here on NCAA 14. And we got a pretty tough game ahead of us here today as we take on Utah, a Pac-12 opponent on the road, going all the way across the country, and they're a lot better than us on paper. 2-1 on the season, whereas our only win so far is against an FCS team, which we barely won. So should be a good one. Make sure you smash that like button if you're brand new to the channel as well. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. And let's jump right into this game. So our first possession ends with a 3-and-out. So now the Utah Utes will take the field for the first time on offense, as Robert Ennis is going to take it upfield. Solomon Ennis, my bad. He's going to take it upfield for 21 yards for their first play. Could be some overshadowing for what they're about to do to us, as Wilmore takes the carry up to gut for 13 more. There's the stats on screen. We probably will have our hands full with this guy. Dude has almost 200 yards rushing already on the season. Next play, Cameron Rising. He's going to throw it his right and get it to Brian Thompson for a gain of 7 before going out of bounds. And then here on 2nd and 3, it's going to be another run up the gut for Wilmore. He's going to get away from one defender. He hops over 2 more, and it's in the end zone. Utah is going to strike first thanks to that 26-yard run. So now the Tommies need to get something going here on offense. As 1st and 10, Wallen's going to drop back to pass, but he gets sacked in the backfield for a loss of 8. But he'll immediately respond though as Jesse Wallen throws up the middle to Chad McKenzie. He picks up 21 on that play, and it's a 1st and 10. A couple plays later, 2nd and 7, Mark McDaniel. He's going to go upfield, but he gets torn apart. What a big hit, and he actually will get a concussion on that play. But John Christensen will pick up the first down for us as we keep the drive alive. So now, 1st and 10. Jesse Wallen dropping back. He's going to try to throw to Christensen. It's a little off, but he almost gets his hands on it. But it does fall incomplete. And we will go for a 2nd and 10, but we'll run the same exact play. And this time it works a lot better as Freddie Gibson is able to make a defender miss and pick up the first himself. So now, another 1st and 10. Tommy's looking to tie his game up. Goes to his right, and Kevin Stone drops the pass. Stone, with hands just like Stone, drops that pass once again as he throws to his right. It's Kevin Stone this time. He does make the catch this time, and it makes it 3rd and 2. On the edge of the red zone is Jesse Wallen. He's looking to scramble here, and he's going to get pummeled. Not only he takes the hit and gets back up, he does pick up the first, and it does keep our drive going. But here we go, 3rd and 2 though. Wallen this time getting a dome to the arm as he gets it off to Adrian Thompson. And then a couple plays later, here comes Jesse Wallen strutting into the end zone. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we are tied with a Power 5 opponent by the score of 7 late in this first quarter. But now we got to deal with the Utah offense as Jonathan Wilmore, he gets the halfback screen, makes the defender miss once again, breaks that tackle, and is able to pick up 8 on the play. Next play, Wilmore going to get the carry up the left-hand side once again, and there's Chad Parrish in there to shore things up, but he's still able to pick up the first nonetheless. Meanwhile, 1st and 10, Cameron Rising is blown up by Marlon Greenwood. Loss of 4. And then right here, the defense gets to him again for our first sack of the game. Looks like that's Derek Jackson, our true freshman at middle linebacker, was able to get into the backfield. So now, 3rd and 22, trying to get away, and he throws it deep, and it's Solomon Ennis. And that's going to be the end of the first, and that's a tough way to end the first quarter. 3rd and 22, they still pick up the first. So now we got to see how our defense responds after that play, as Wilmore was bottled up, but is somehow able to get away, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Jordan Wilmore is able to pull a Houdini act and get into the end zone for their 2nd lead of this game. And so what's worse is that we actually go 3-and-out, so Utah's back, and Cole Fotheringham makes the one-handed grab for the easy first, as Utah is looking to extend this lead out further, as Cameron Rising going over the middle to Brian Thompson. Very tight window, still able to get it through nonetheless. That Heisman cheese. And so now it's 3rd and inches. Wilmore going up the gut, and he's met at about the 12-yard line. Easy first down. Wilmore doing whatever he wants. He only has 5 carries, but he already has over 100 yards. As this time around we sell for Wilmore, but this time Cameron Rising is going to keep it. He's going to get a gain of 7 on that play. Next play for the Utes, though, it's going to be Brumfield this time getting a touch, and he's going to be able to walk into the end zone himself, making it a 21-7 ball game, as the Tommies on offense, meanwhile, are just having a hard time getting any kind of offense going after that first possession, as we go 3 and out here, as Greg Little will be out on the field to punt this ball away. Simply too early to go for it. And we don't want to give Utah any more favors than what we're doing right now, as Brumfield trying to return it back. He's able to go all the way to midfield. And there's the stats of Utah just dominating us right now. Particularly in that second quarter. We only have 16 yards of offense. We've had 2 drives so far. As now Wilmore is back to his dominating ways. He's not even considered a star on this team. That's the scary part. Cameron Rising is the offensive captain for this team, as Wilmore, he goes to his left, he's able to get a block, he breaks some tackles, and it goes from literally a gain of nothing, no gain at all, to a 35-yard gain that goes to another touchdown, and so we're down 28-7. So after another 3 and out, here comes Wilmore with another carry, this time it's for another gain of 15. Dude has 150 yards on the ground. That is absolutely insane. But now Cameron Rising, he's going to drop back the pass. He's going to scramble. And this goes for a gain of 8 for another first down for this Utah team. Man, we are just having a difficult time just stopping them on the ground. It has been hard to watch, as Cameron Rising, he has all day to throw this ball. Man, I could have made myself a sandwich before he got that ball off between the snap and when the throw actually happened, but he finds Fotheringham, he gets the first. Then a couple plays later, he throws to the corner. He nearly gets Jackson streaking, but thankfully he didn't get that 1 foot in bounds. So it's 3rd and 7, and so Cameron Rising, he's going to throw to Wilmore to make something happen, but we get him to sell to a field goal. And that's the end of the first half, ladies and gentlemen. We're down 31-7, but hopefully the second half will be so much better, as Utah will get the ball to start the second, and it starts the same way as it did in the first half. Solomon Ennis with a 12-yard catch, another first down instantly, first play of the second half. And then a couple plays later, here comes Cameron Rising. He's going to throw to his right to Solomon Ennis again. Barely getting the first. You know, we thought we had him bottled up, but Cameron Rising is just putting on a show here, as now they do the halfback screen, and Wilmore only has one more man to beat, and he stiff arms him to the ground, but the rest of the Tommies do catch up. But it's an easy first, as now Brumfield, he goes up the gut, and it's nobody is home, and it's a 38-7 lead for Utah. It's getting pretty ugly extremely fast. So now the Tommies are back on the field. Walden's going to try to throw to his left to Jonathan Marks, but it's incomplete. Walden having a very difficult day. 10 for 23 for like 80 yards, I want to say. It's been rough out there, but we're going to go deep over the middle to Kevin Stone, and he drops it again, which now makes it 3rd and 10. And we're just going to try to get him with the screen, get something going for our quarterback. And we get some blocks upfield for John Christensen. And he gets over midfield for the first. The drive will stay alive as we're looking to get our second touchdown today. And we're going to get it right back to John Christensen, who gets lit up like a Christmas tree. But it goes for a gain of 5 nonetheless. And it moves the ball forward, which is what we need, you know, more than anything. As Christensen gets another great blocking by his offensive line on this drive, as Jesse Wallen, he's going to go over the middle to Marks. Oh, but Marks drops the pass, unfortunately. That could have been a touchdown if he caught that ball, but We just got to go ahead and focus on this next play right here to Desi Lindsay, who was able to make the catch for a gain of 7. Alright, so here we go. 3rd down here. Just trying to get the first, keep the drive alive. Gonna throw it out to Brett Jones, our fullback. The fullback is able to rumble and stumble for the first, as we basically have a 1st and goal here. The 1st down marker is at like the 1-inch line, as Desi Lindsay gets into the end zone, makes some nice cuts, and we cut this thing down to a 38-14 lead, as Lindsay, you know, is able to make the catch and do the rest. So now, midway through the 3rd, Utah has the ball back. Cameron Rising moving to his right. It's double coverage, and he somehow throws it right in between 2 guys. I'm shocked that neither of them went for the pick, and we paid for it dearly as Cameron Rising throws his first passing touchdown. It's a 45-14 lead. Oh boy, and it's getting ugly quick. Throw over in the middle though. It's Kevin Stone. He makes the catch. He gets almost flipped over, but it goes for a gain of 20. He does get the first though, as Jesse Wallen's going to try to throw to his tight end, but a little miscommunication, and we nearly paid for it there. Was nearly picked off. But Jesse Wallen, he's going to try to throw his halfback. He throws behind him. Could have been a 1st down there, but instead we're going to have to make this a 3rd and 10 as we try to do another screen. But this time they were ready, as Desi Lindsay had no room. We had to punt this ball away once again. So now Utah, they got the ball back. They're going over the middle, and Derek Jackson is there. He makes the interception. Jackson, what is a special guy. I don't care that he's only a 60 overall, but the dude has been balling out for our defense. One of the few bright spots that we have in this game, as now Jesse Wallen and the Tommies are set to take over, as Denzi almost picks up the first there from Jesse Wallen. Dude is a nice halfback. If we can get some more quarterbacks in here on scholarship, might have to move Lindsay to halfback for season 3. But 3rd and inches, Kevin Stone could have had the first, but no, he decides to drop it again, and we had to settle for the field goal. I just don't trust our offense right now, and we need all the points that we can get since we're down by so much, as Cole Fotheringham nearly picks up the first. Luckily, 3 Tommies were there to build a little wall. So now Utah is getting ready to run the option here, and Cameron Rising is going to keep it, and he's not going to pitch it, and Cameron Rising is going to get to midfield, breaking a couple of tackles before he's finally brought down. And so, next play, Cameron faking the play action, going over the middle to Jackson, and he breaks a tackle before brought down in the red zone. It's a 30-yard gain. Jackson was the guy that killed us with that 70-yard deep ball early on in the half, as there it is, Wilmore once again getting into the end zone, and we're down 52-17. Man, it's looking a lot like season 1 as we go deep to Jonathan Marks, and he picks up the catch. We're at midfield. We are in business, ladies and gentlemen. And so, last play of the 3rd quarter. Man, he's so fast. I've never seen somebody move that quickly as a linebacker, but that's going to be the end of the 3rd. It's honestly not looking good. We probably will put in the backups at some point this quarter, unless a minor miracle happens. And I don't know if it's going to happen here, because Jesse Wallen, he's going to throw deep, and he's picked off. It wasn't even like a terrible throw, just our guy just did not play it very well, and we're going to have to give the ball right back. It's basically a long punt. I guess that's one way of looking at it, as Kofi, he breaks 2. Can he break a 3rd tackle? Oh, he didn't break a 3rd tackle, but he gets it to midfield himself, as Utah is driving once again. It's a familiar story, ladies and gentlemen, as we're just showing that we still have a lot of work that needs to be done, as Rising picks up the 1st down himself. And then here comes Jonathan Wilmore, stiff-arming a man to the ground, but he is met by the defense. Nice recovery by our defensive players that time. As now 3rd and 4, Cameron Rising is going to drop back. He's going to throw an out route to Fotheringham. That Heisman cheese is really killing us today. and so they continue their drive. Next play, Rising dropping back to pass. He's going over the middle to Jackson, who was going to die for it, but then I guess animations happen, you know. And so it's a 1st and goal. And here comes Jonathan Wilmore almost getting into the end zone. But for now, we keep them out, barring this next play here. He almost has 200 yards, which is absolutely insane. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. There's Brunfield getting to the end zone. And next play, and that's actually going to wrap things up. We did get the backups in the second part of this 4th quarter, and you know, nothing really special happening. We lost 66-17. You know, we looked good in that 1st quarter, and then, you know, we had that unfortunate play at the end of the 1st, and then it just was all downhill from here. So if today shows anything, is that we still have a long way to go before we want to compete with one of the better teams in the country. But you know, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the stats for today's game. So we had the backups come in for the last few minutes because it was such a blowout. Jesse Wallen, man, he had a really tough day today. He was 20 for 44, only 200 yards. He did have the 1 touchdown at the beginning of the game, but he also threw a couple interceptions. But it's not as bad as how we played against UL Monroe, I will say that. Desi Lindsay also got some time at quarterback as well. He threw 1 pass, and that 1 pass was picked off, which is pretty unfortunate to see. You know, still has to definitely work on the accuracy, even as the backup. Rushing, we basically avoided the rushing game when things got really bad for us. John Christensen did lead us today. He only had 3 carries for 18 yards though, so that shows how our running game went. But Jesse Wallen did get into the end zone for our other touchdown today as well. So both touchdowns were accounted for by our starting QB. Receivers, man, you know, kind of a mixed bag. Can only do so much. Desi Lindsay and John Christensen each had 4 total catches, but John Christensen gets the edge with 53 total yards receiving. Led us all receivers, and that's regardless of running back or wide receiver or tight end. But Desi Lindsay caught the touchdown from Jesse Walden, you know, that quarterback to quarterback connection. And then on defense, we do have some decent highlights. Derek Jackson, he had our true freshman that we recruited in the previous season. He had 9 total tackles a day and led us with not only tackles, but also with tackles for a loss. He had 3 total tackles. He had a sack. He also had an interception on top of that. So the dude definitely has a bright future here at St. Thomas, and I'm happy that we get to work with him for at least the next 4 years. You know, can definitely see this guy being in the mid 70s, hopefully low 80s if we get really fortunate. But even though things didn't go quite our way on the football field, we do get a small bit of good news from the recruiting front. William Swan, a defensive end, has decided to commit to our football team. I believe he is our first commit of this recruiting class, and we're really excited to have him. We definitely need the help at the defensive line position. Other guys that are planning on visiting this week include Tommy Davis, Odom Jones, Nate Gillett, Matt Williams, as well as Trent Newton. So we and Kevin Williams too. So next week is going to be a massive recruiting week for us as we continue to try to build our team from the ground up. Speaking of next week, we get to return back home where we will play against the Troy Trojans, who aren't too terribly good. They only have a C+ overall rating, so it's definitely doable for us if we just play that brand of football that we played when we played against FCS Northwest. If we can beat FCS Northwest, then we can at least maybe beat some of these lower end FBS teams. I want to get at least 1 or 2 more wins so that I can make sure our head coach is at least guaranteed to stay for another season instead of being fired after the first season. But hey, thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't done so already. And if you are brand new to the channel as well, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button, as that would really help me out a lot. Till then, I'll see you guys next time, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care, guys.